I'm going to talk to you about not reinventing the wheel when it comes to generating leads for your contracting business. A lot of the older styles of advertising no longer work. The yellow pages, penny savers, stuff like that may not work anymore for you. So I want to show you how you actually take what you used to do and replicate it today without having to reinvent the wheel. Hey, I'm Logan Shinholster, and if this is the first time of you joining me, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and make sure that you don't miss out on all this great content that we're bringing you. Now, here's why I'm talking about this topic today. Let's say you had a contracting business pre-internet. Everything is just like changing so much. It's unbelievable how much technology has changed. They even said that every second that goes on, technology progresses at a faster rate. So right now, this is the slowest that technology will ever progress ever again. Faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. That means that you have to somehow keep up. And if you don't keep up, you're falling behind. If you fall behind, you go out of business, your wife leaves you, you're SOL. There's two ways to really make sure that you're keeping up. And what I'm talking about with not reinventing the wheel is take the stuff that used to work and just apply it to new school methods. Buyer psychology, why people buy, what makes them tick, that stuff doesn't really change. Right? There's a book, it's called Persuasion, The Power of Influence. The methods that they talk about in that book, which I think came out in like the 80s, it's still relevant today. Why people buy doesn't change, like scarcity or everybody else is doing it or brand association, stuff like that. It still is valid, but the vehicles that actually get those points across don't work as well anymore. Tupperware parties aren't really a thing anymore because people just don't do that. But the idea of a Tupperware party, you can still leverage stuff like that to grow business. And how we do this in the contracting world is there's two ways to really think about all this stuff so you're not falling behind. One is, how did people first find you? Let's say 20 years ago. How did people first find you? If it was Yellow Pages, you can do Google ads. If it's billboards, you can do Facebook ads. I mean, whatever it is, there's so many different vehicles, and I would say watch this YouTube channel because we'll walk you through the old school methods to the new school, but just take how people used to first find you or first hear about you and find what the new school method is, because that's the first thing that you gotta do is you gotta get the foot in the door. If people don't know who you are, how can you sell to them? So make sure you're first figuring out how do people find you. The second method is, what's the next step of them actually learning more about you and buying? So if it used to be Yellow Pages and that was the only way that people heard about you at first, this is an irrelevant step. But if people, let's say, used to first go on the Yellow Pages, learn about all the different companies, then they would go to a home show and actually meet these companies, then you know that that's a second method. So make sure that you're taking both the ideas of how did people first find you or how did they first find you, and then how did people then cultivate a relationship with you and produce that in 2019, because you don't want to reinvent the wheel. The direct mailers that used to work for you, take those same strategies, those same tactics, those same pictures and images and words on those and put them in a Facebook ad or put them on your website. Understanding why people buy from you is super important. It's just the vehicle has changed over time. It used to be Yellow Pages, now it's gonna be Google ads, and in the future it could be virtual reality. We don't know, but the ability to pivot is gonna be a must if you wanna continue to grow your business or at least not go out of business. So take the psychology of why people used to buy, take your best performing campaigns ever of direct mail, radio ads, billboards, home shows, whatever it is, and figure out how to replicate that exact same thing on the internet these days, and you will absolutely kill it. Don't reinvent the wheel, just take what you used to do and just replicate it for new school tactics. If this is the first time you're checking this out, again, hit the subscribe button, make sure you are not missing out on any of the great stuff, because the last thing that I want is for you to get really frustrated with the digital marketing world when you had something sitting under your nose the whole time of, I had this one mailer campaign that used to kill it, just replicate it and kill it again. Thank you very much.